Exvangelicals. I guess that's what they're calling it nowadays. Exvangelical. Couldn't that really be the same thing as basically saying agnostic? No, actually, no, it can't. I guess you can be exvangelical and have become atheist or agnostic atheist. It's whatever you want to be. It just means that you're exvangelical, which means ex-evangelical, part of the charismatic Christian culture, church thing. Me. I can't say ex-pastor's kid, I'm always going to be pastor's kid, but definitely exvangelical. So in regards to my last video, this is kind of a follow-up to my last video, but then again, every video I make is a follow-up to my last video. So, this is a follow-up to my last video. Not this again. When I was talking about where I'm at with my beliefs and what I now call God, i.e. being the universe. If you want to see that video, go check it out. But I figured that I would make another video talking about what it is that I do believe as a exvangelical, agnostic atheist. Yeah, honestly, it just depends on the day. But this is what I believe. And about belief, I realized that I guess I thought at one point that belief and faith could only be, it could only involve the supernatural. But then I realized that that's not the case. Like, belief isn't one of those things that has to be supernatural. I mean, so basically where I started learning about this or started developing this idea was from Dr. Jordan Peterson, who I am a huge Jordan Peterson fan, but he said, a good way to look at what you believe is looking at your actions. What do you act out in life? And if you act this out in life, you must believe that this has some sort of effect on your life and that it does have an impact. The things that you do, the actions that you have are you do them because you believe something. So with these actions, whatever they might be, like opening a door or fulfilling hunger and thirst, going and getting a drink, going and eating food, we believe that these actions will make a difference in our lives. Obviously, those are very, very simple things, but at the same time, we believe that eating food will fulfill hunger. We believe that reaching out and grabbing a door handle and twisting it will open a door. Obviously very simple things, but they are beliefs that actually ground us in reality. And I guess that we develop those actions or those beliefs by repetitively doing it until we actually believe that that's the case, that will be the outcome. Maybe that's what you call faith. I need to make another video about it because yeah. But anyway, these actions that we do every single day, whether we realize it or not, are grounded in some sort of belief that they will make a difference and a change in our lives. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're supernatural. They can be a very natural thing, but I think that belief, some people will say belief is synonymous with knowing. Maybe, probably. Belief, I guess that's up for debate. What do you think? Leave a comment. But for now, we'll just call it beliefs. So these beliefs are things that actually do ground us in reality. So I guess once I got out of my head that belief was something that had to be supernatural, and once I realized that I actually do believe in these things that are kind of in between the natural and supernatural. Once I realized that I do act on these things, I was like, wait a minute, I do still act on these things, whether or not, some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm atheist, or some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm agnostic, or whatever the case may be. I do still act on these things, and it helped me ground myself in reality more. And so I started to watch my actions and the things that I acted on, the feelings that I had, and that I would act on them. And then I started to, write down, I think I actually do believe this because I act on it, because I genuinely believe that it's going to make some sort of a difference. So I started to write them down, and I'm going to share them with y'all. And y'all, I just sounded so country. Y'all, whatever, I'm from Virginia. But I'm going to share them with you all. That might have sounded better, I don't know. I know that this is something that has helped me and grounded me in where I am in my searching and deconstruction and all of that. And so maybe this will inspire you to look at your actions and to find out what you believe. I just cracked. whatever. So, here's what I believe. I believe, I wrote down the first thing, and I'm constantly adding to this list, by the way, but the first thing is I realized I believe in the impossible. I just know that if I look at the past in human history, I mean, there's several things where humanity thought that things weren't possible. There was no way. I mean, airplanes, spaceships, you name it, and then what do you know? We got all that now. I mean, at one point, at one point or another, there was a lot of things that were impossible, and now they are possible. And I believe that there's a part of the human spirit, whatever you want to call it, part of me, part of the human spirit, part of whatever, that strives towards revealing the impossible and making it possible. And I've realized that I still, even leaving the church, being an exvangelical, agnostic atheist, will still act on these things that I'm like, I'm wanting to make the impossible possible. And I've just realized that, and I'm like, this is a belief that I have. Number 2, this one's pretty simple, but working hard and working until the job is done. I don't believe in laziness. And I don't know why, but just helping me realize that, helping me see that this is a belief that I have. And sometimes it can, it's kind of like this. Sometimes, it causes anxiety or panic, and then I'm like, but this is actually working hard, and this is doing good, and this is me taking on responsibility. So it's kind of like one of these things that I juggle with constantly. But I do believe in working hard and working till the job is done. I'm not a quitter. I'm a fighter, and I act on this, and so I've realized that, and it's helped ground me a bit more since realizing this. Number 3, here's one that's kind of like the in-between between natural and supernatural, is I believe in dreams, in the mystery and subjective objectivity of dreams. I'm an avid dreamer. I have interpreted many people's dreams. I interpret my dreams. I believe in dreams. I dream almost every single night, regularly, and I do believe, and I've acted on them. I've dreamt something before, and I've woken up, and it's just changed something in me, and I will live life differently based on the dreams that I have, or it might even be the decisions that I make for that day, or the next coming weeks or months, or it just helps point to where I am in life. And I slowly realized this, that I do believe in dreams, and dreams are obviously very subjective, but I also think that there's objectivity in it as well, because of the symbolism, and I can go into archetypes and the things that all of us will see in our dreams that relatively mean the same thing. Even though they mean different things subjectively to us, they relatively mean something similar. So I've done this my entire life, but I've just realized that it is a belief that I have, that dreams in the night, I do believe that they make a difference, and they definitely make a difference for me. Number 4, there is something underneath, and what I mean by that is the unconscious. I do believe in the unconscious. I do believe in consciousness, the unconscious, the thought life that we have. I mean, I feel like a lot of this is just science. The amount, if you've ever done research into the amount of thoughts that we have per day, and there's thoughts that we recognize, and then there's thoughts that we have no clue about, but they are things that are happening in our body. There is unconsciousness. I mean, just me, studying, I'm a massage therapist, so me studying the nervous system and the muscles, and how the nervous system and the muscles react to each other, and how, if we have a traumatic experience that happens to us, the nervous system remembers that. Whether or not we want to forget it or not, the nervous system will remember that, and our body will react to it. Even if we're like, no, I don't want to deal with this. It's like our body is like, well, you are going to have to deal with it, or I'm just going to hold it all in. So you can look at it as a scientific approach, which, I do. But you can also look at it as something spiritual, which I do as well. I mean, just going back to the dreams. So I do think that there is a unconscious. I do think that there is something that even connects all of us that we don't even realize and we're still figuring out. It's an unknown, but I've realized that I do act on that. I do act on these things, and I don't know where it goes. I don't know, but I do act on them, and so I've realized that I believe in the unconscious. Number 5, the truth will present itself to you when you need it. I guess you can tie that into dreams and unconscious as well, but I don't know when I wrote that one down. I can just remember that I guess I've just experienced it, and I mean, you all could probably say the same thing. In life in general, that you don't need to know something until you need to know it, and when you need to know it, you'll know it. If you followed that, congratulations. But yeah, I think that the truth will present itself when you need to know it, and that's something that is sort of that in-between area, that gray area of natural and supernatural. I mean, it's not something that's objective reality, but it's definitely subjective to each individual. That kind of gets to another belief that I have. I think that might even be next. But I think that the truth, whatever that is, will present itself when you need it. Whether it's a lesson that you need to learn in life, that you need to pay attention to, or whatever else, I think that the truth will present itself. I believe that the truth will present itself when it is needed to you. And I've experienced that so many times that I guess it's the amount of times that I've realized I've experienced that I'm like, yep, I believe that, because I've just learned to be more patient. Like if I don't have an answer, I've just learned to be patient. And I'm like, I will get the answer when I need the answer. And I clearly want the answer, but it'll present itself when it needs to. And it always does. And I don't wait for it like I'm just like lazy, but I wait for it in a search. I'm looking for it. And then when it presents itself, it presents itself. And I've lived that out. I've lived that search out. And I've just realized that that's something that I believe. Number 6. All right, this one's going to sound crazy, but I genuinely do believe it, and I have believed it for some time. Number 6 on this list is I believe that I can change the world. I know it sounds insane, but I know I believe it because when I do something, learn something, act on something, whatever, I'm always asking myself, is this something that will not only help me become a better human, but will help me become a better human for other people, for the world? Is this information going to help me teach people how to love better, how to be better, how to do better, how to make a positive impact? I see things, and whatever it is. I mean, I became a massage therapist. I'm a music producer. I do YouTube. All these things that I want to use and I have at my disposal. And I'm like, how can I use these to make a difference, make an impact on the world, and really, really make a change and bring change? I genuinely ask myself these things before I do something. And I just know that I genuinely believe that I can change the world. And I think that this is a belief that if you adopted this belief, or if you practice this belief, that you'll become a better human. I know I have, and I think that the friends that I have that also have this same belief that they can change the world are just stand-up human beings. They're just class 1, class A. They're just great. They're just great. But for me, anyway, I believe that, and I act on it. And it's crazy, but I believe it. Number 7. It's ironic that this is number 7, but I believe in objective truth. If I didn't, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be continually deconstructing and searching these things out and learning about philosophy, learning about reality, learning about free will, all of these things. If I did not believe in objective truth and that there was a truth to it all, whatever that is, I don't know what it is, but if I didn't believe that there was something or could be something, then I wouldn't be doing all of this. And I think that's basically it. It's plain and simple that I believe in objective truth. I act on it every day. It's something that is in my being, and my actions say that. So I know that I believe in objective truth. Whatever it is, I believe in it. Number 8, the mystery. I believe in the mystery that love, that is love. I believe in the mystery that love exists. I've made a whole series on love. A number of you have seen that series, and love is a mystery. It's not an emotion. It's something more. It's something deeper. It's something greater, and it's a mystery, but yet I feel it. We all feel it. And I believe in the mystery that is love does exist, and it does bring change, and it does bring an impact. There's not a whole lot more to say about it. I guess what I have to say about it, I've said in that series on love, but it is something that I genuinely believe, that the mystery of love, not being an emotion, not being something that you just throw out there to some stranger, I love you, I think that's so much more than that, and it's a mystery, and it's deeper, and it's something that none of us quite understand yet or know how to live it out, and that's part of life. That's part of learning that. But I do believe in the mystery of love and that it exists. And the last one I have, number 9, is something that's newer. I think I wrote this down like last week. Is the universe rewards taking on responsibility. And I think responsibility is a part of love. I think the foundations of love is accountability, responsibility, and sacrifice. There's a lot to say about those 3 things, but I think that the universe, that could be God or is love or whatever, however you want to say it, rewards those who takes on responsibility. And I think that I've definitely been learning that, and I know for me. So, short little story, I have chronic Lyme disease. I've been battling it since November of 2017, and it has taught me discipline. It has taught me to be accountable to myself, to take on this responsibility. It's taught me to love myself better. And it's taught me so many other things, how to, be brave, conquer fear, what that means, how to do it, how to live it. But it's taught me to take on responsibility. And recently, I've said no to a number of treatments because I wasn't ready for the responsibility of the debt, of the cost that I would, the debt that I would go into because of the cost of the treatments, right? I've said no so many times, but I reached a point where I was like, my health is more important to me than the debt that I would go into based on the cost of treatment. So I got out another credit card, and I was looking at loans, and I was doing all this, and I was like, I am fully prepared to take on this responsibility for myself, by myself, because I love myself, and I want to be healthy, and I want to feel like me again, and I don't want to deal with this disease. So I fully expected to take on that responsibility, and my amazing and incredible parents, whom I love, decided to gift me the full payment for the first treatment. Now, they're incredible, they're amazing. I wasn't expecting anything from them because they've already done so much for me already. But I do think, besides the fact that they're incredible for doing what they did, I do think that it was kind of a reward in a weird way from the universe. Whatever you think about that, however you want to think about that. And that's just one of the ways that I think that I've been rewarded for taking on that responsibility and for really wanting to take on that unknown, wanting to take on life in that way. That's just one of the ways, but I've experienced that in smaller ways since. And I just noticed that cumulative effect of it happening, of the more responsibility that I would decide to take on, then the more reward that would come my way. And so I think it's on my phone, I have a question mark by it. So I think I do believe that, but that's kind of still evolving. So those are the beliefs that I have written down. They've really helped me just write them down and become more grounded in myself. Being in this in-between, being in this deconstruction period and place and searching out truth and what that looks like. I know there's more to it. I know that there is more that I
live by. I know that there's more beliefs that I have that I haven't discovered yet, that I haven't written down, and I'll write them down once I discover it, but I haven't discovered it. And once I discover it, then I know that I'll be more grounded. But these are the beliefs that I have realized that I have at this moment. But anyway, what are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Are you an exvangelical? Are you an agnostic? Are you an atheist? And what are things that you realize, maybe you realized it watching this video, that you act in this way based on a belief that you may not even realize that you have? So comment below what your beliefs are, what you think about this video. And let's talk about it. Let's get into it in the comments. I love it. I've been a little busy, and so I haven't gotten to the comments on my last video, working like 7 days a week, so it's kind of crazy right now because I have a massage job, bartender on the weekends, whatever, but I will get to it, I promise you. So leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you misfits in the next one. Peace!